Hey guys, Brandon Mitchell here from BrandResumes.com, founder and CEO, and today we're going to do another episode of the 10-point resume review with Brandon Mitchell. Now, last week we had a really interesting case. It was a one-page resume with a client from Chicago. Again, we were at a career fair, they gave us their resume and they thought it was amazing. And so what we're trying to do with the 10-point resume review is find 10 things wrong with the resume that it can be easily found within about 1 or 2 minutes. Because again, if I can find 10 things wrong with your resume, best believe a recruiter or hiring manager can find 10 or more. So you want to make sure that your resume is immaculate before submitting it. So let's get straight into the actual review.
First things first is, where is his LinkedIn profile? Now, typically the LinkedIn profile should be right in the header, and I'm not seeing it. And I know this man most likely has an actual LinkedIn profile. So that's the first thing. Secondly is, this is a little bit outdated. So it says employment history, but I believe that it should say professional experience. Professional experience is a little bit more of a professional way to talk about your past, work experiences. And so you want to say professional experience because it's professional. Employment history is pretty outdated. And so most recruiters and hiring managers are looking for professional experience. It sounds good, and guess what? It's professional. Third thing is, this is glaring at me right now. There's no bullet points really. I mean, I'm talking about straight up paragraphs of experiences. As a recruiter and a hiring manager myself, when I recruit, I'm not looking for paragraphs. I want to see bullet points. So that's like a clear, absolutely not. Who is going to read paragraphs? I'm not going to read it. If I was a recruiting manager or hiring manager, I'm not going to do that. People want to see bullet points because it's easy to read, it's easy to navigate to the content, and that's the standard format that people are looking for. Don't write paragraphs on your resume. That's number 3. Whoa! Where is this man's skill section? We have 2 pages of content and no skill section. That is extremely bad. You want to have a skill section on your resume because that is the way for recruiters and hiring managers to know what you're good at. Again, professional experience is great, but you want to have a skill section. No, this cannot be right. There is a bullet point with nothing there. It's invisible. Is he using invisible ink? I don't know what's going on here. Literally, it just has nothing. There's nothing here. So again, proofread your documents before submitting them, because again, if you submit a resume with an invisible bullet point, that's going to be the straightest way to the no pile. That's number 5. All right, so this is a big pet peeve for any recruiting hiring manager, especially me as the resume writer. What's going on here is he got circle bullet points, then he has square bullet points. Be consistent with your formatting. It is extremely important for consistency's sake to be consistent. It needs to be easy to read and it needs to look really good, okay? It needs to look good. Your resume needs to look good. It's a marketing document that's gonna help you get in front of the right folks. That's number 6. Number 7 is, where are the actual numbers and percent signs? I don't see any. I can't contextualize or quantify what you've done. I'm looking for accomplishments. I want to see, numerical numbers in terms of what you've done. I see here that he was a customs security officer. Okay, he patrolled and monitored the company grounds, which makes sense. But were there any number of people who you were looking for a day? Were there certain shifts that you had to quantify something here? That's number 7. Let's go to number 8. So let's see what we can find. So what we have here is there are one of my biggest pet peeves. We have small dashes and big dashes. Be consistent with the formatting. It's extremely important to be consistent. Oh my God, another one. You gotta have consistent little dashes and big dashes. Use one. Be consistent. That's number 9. And number 10 is literally, so this is a 2-page resume. Oh man, here we go. You have here, okay, so for this resume, bring this into context. He has paragraphs throughout his entire resume, and his last work experience, there's bullet points. So that's completely bad from a formatting perspective. But right here, the common culprit, you have a period on one bullet point, and you have no periods on the other bullet points. So that blows my mind as to why he would think that's okay. But number 10 is periods here, no periods elsewhere. Again, You need to be extremely critical in terms of your attention to detail when you're putting together your resume, because again, everything that you put on this piece of paper matters. Because again, if I'm looking at it in detail, or recruiting manager or hiring manager can look at this and say, okay, if this person couldn't take the time to sit here and completely review his resume, how is the same person going to review a contract, going to review a document, going to review their work? It's the same thing. Your resume is your first investment, because again, that's what's going to help you get into the door. And this resume, guys, is it's not going to cut it. All right, so now that we've went through the resume, we've highlighted 10 things wrong with this resume. Let's actually see how we can improve this resume. So first things first is I definitely would save some space at the top by including the phone number, the city, state, and the email on one line. He has 3 lines right now, so that can be condensed to save space and have one line there. Secondly, it seems like he is looking for an actual job as a police officer or security officer. And so first thing, he should probably use some bullet points, quantify things, because right now he has responded to emergency and security requests, protected staff, patients, and visitors from unruly conduct. Now he could say, he can quantify that. He can say how many patients or staff that he's actually helping on a daily basis. He can say, you know, how he went about resolving, if he created a process for resolving issues in a timely fashion, or even how quickly he was able to resolve issues. So just giving some more context to his personal successes or impacts at his job. What he can also do here that I think would be really important is that this is a big issue, right? Make sure your resume is chronological, because he has some things here where he started at 2009 or 2013, but then the bullet point after that and the experience after that is talking about 2013 to 2014. So there's some issues there with the chronological order, because again, if I'm a hiring manager, I want to see from a chronological perspective everything that you've done. So that's a quick fix that people can do. Just reorganize your content. And then lastly, this is a big issue that most people think, is that they should just have everything that they've done on their resume, and they kind of get really attached to what's on their resume. They don't want to let it go. But if he's looking to become a security officer or a police officer, he has some stuff here like a cashier from 2006, right? So he was a cashier, I guess, before he really started his career, which looks like after the cashier, he became like a child welfare specialist and then went on to become a safety officer. So he can remove this entire cashier experience in 2006. It doesn't add anything to his resume. It actually just takes up space. And I think that if he did that, he can pull a lot of the content from page 2 onto page 1 and then just reorganize that. He has like, 12 personal attributes, which are just like soft skills, like honest, respectful. Honestly, I would put that in the LinkedIn profile in your summary. So he can remove that, maybe put a skills section and then just reformat this all to be on a 1 page. It could be clear, concise, and just really, really, really presentable. And I think that if he did that, he would have a great shot at actually getting through, and just make sure he has a little bit more keywords in here and he should be good. All right, guys, so this was the honest review of the candidate's resume. I think that he needs to make a lot of changes to make sure that he's getting these interviews that he's looking for and ultimately landing the job. And so if you like this video, please drop some comments in the section below. Give it a thumbs up, like it, subscribe, and make sure that you're tuning in next week for the next episode of the 10-Point Resume Review with Brandon Mitchell. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.